Okay, so I posted a correction in the last video, um, in the description, because it's actually closer to 3 hours for flight time. But because we don't have all the details, the easiest way to get close to the real thing in fuel usage is to put 12 pounds per minute in for the Apache. If you're interested in the shotgun pinboard software, that is. I just wanted to say it verbally because I'm sure someone will complain and say, you told me the wrong thing. It's like, well, yeah, not on purpose. I didn't mean to. But we're practicing now. We're practicing choppers ready for the Apache. So what I've noticed, if you try and take off without setting the trim in the helicopters, you're going to have yourself a hard time. So at least in the Huey, you need the trim button. Trim works different in choppers than it does with the helicopter, because the trim is kind of more on the stick rather than control surfaces. So if you look in the top left, it's got my display there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the button for trim in, and I'm going to move my stick back into the left and then let go. Now that's the center of where the stick is. Now this might look alright, depending on... Anyway, let's just let it speak for itself. And apply left torque, or whatever they call it, on the pedals. And that's a lot smoother than it normally is. That really is. And you're only going to get this kind of result with the trim. If you're not taking off with the trim, you're going to have a really hard time. It's like being on like bad seas, really. I still don't understand what we do through the transition period, like what I'm supposed to do with the rudder. I've been doing this for 10 plus years now, and I'm still asking questions. So I'm in the DCS community at the moment, asking as many questions of the chopper guys as I possibly can. I mean, I'm happy to, like, I answer questions with the A10 and whatnot, but still, you know, you can't have experts with everything. There's F-16 guys, which I haven't fully got into the F-16 yet, which I would like to, but, you know, there's so many aircraft and so much fun to be had, so, you know, I'm still flying the A10. That's like a 10 plus years old aircraft I'm still flying, you know. I haven't moved on from it. It's one of those things where, you know, I keep getting more and more aircraft, and I've got absolutely no problem with doing that, so keep pumping out the aircraft. I'm just going to try and land in this field over here. Hopefully we don't go through a vortex ring state. But you know, I'm happy to keep buying them. You keep making them, I'll keep buying them. But, well, actually, we'll go into a hover if I can, but I reckon I'm moving way too fast. So we might hit a vortex ring state. Yeah, I'm going too fast. I might come around for a second try. Yeah, but, you know, there's people that, you know, I'll sometimes, like once in a blue moon, ask a question about the F-16 or something like that, because I just don't know how it works. Even that, the Hornet, I don't know the full capabilities of the Hornet and all the buttons and all the things it can do. A10, I'm pretty good at, you know, from a civilian point of view. There's no way I'd have any level of knowledge as the actual pilots have. So I'm just going to ease up, try and slow down. I reckon we're going to hit a vortex ring state. Now, there's only, as far as I'm aware, two things you can do to get out of that, and one of them is more effective, and that's sliding out of the ring state. The other thing you can do is, you know, I can't remember the name of the controls, but change the pitch on your, like, to try and produce more lift. But producing more lift is really not going to help you much if you just can't bite onto the air. So what a vortex ring state is, I think I've discussed it briefly in a previous video while I was trying to learn the Huey to a non-serious extent, but I really want to get I've already paid for the Apache, I'm just waiting for it, so I really need to get some chopper experience. The vortex ring state is basically the jet wash of your own helicopter. So when you go back through your own wash, so if you're dropping through that, it's already air that's you can't bite into it. It's not stable. It's all it's all over the place. So you end up producing no lift, and you drop to the ground like a stone. So you've got to be really quick with it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not stopping, I'm not slowing down at such a low altitude or high altitude, really, because power lines. Everyone's dead. Oh, vortex rig state. Oh, I just wanted to go into a hover. But anyway, this is why we're practicing. Okie, not really the best landing, but that is exactly why we're practicing. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to try and go back into a hover, because I didn't want to land, I just wanted to hover, but the vortex ring state pretty much put us on the ground. We had no other way of doing that. Go back into a hover, try and hold it a little bit. This is much easier than without the trim. If you're flying without the trim and then complaining like I did, that's silly. Use the trim. Actually, while we're here, what we'll do, I'm just going to land, go back down, because the ground effect here is good, so you're going to keep producing lift. You don't have to worry too much about the vortex ring state, because you can't really hit it when you're this low to the ground. What we'll do, I'm going to set the trim off, and I'm going to try and do a hover again. Alright, so if you see, it's pretty much reset there. Alright, so the stick is dead center. We're going to try and take off and watch this horror show, because the other word I can't use. See, look at that. I'm going to start sweating in a minute. And I'm actually surprised I'm not doing too bad. But as you can see, I'm kind of holding the stick in the same position where it was trimmed to. And you know what? Even sorting out that trim, that's helped me a little bit. That's helped me figure out where the stable point is. And these, obviously, center of gravity and stuff moves depending on weight, payload, fuel, all that kind of stuff. But I'm quite impressed with my ability to hold that hover now. This is the best hover I've ever held without the trim. So learn with trim. Mind you, this is probably the 3rd hour that I've been doing this. So yeah, now what do we do? Because I'm still applying left rudder. Like, when do you take the rudder off gently? Do you, like, when you transition from hover to forward movement, how do you do that? There's still more questions I've got to ask the community, and they are always happy to answer. They're good people. Just, they're a group of lads though, which means that, if you ask a question, don't be afraid to, get a stupid answer back. And yes, I'm guilty of doing that too. That's what we do. We try and help, but, you gotta have some fun, gotta have some laughs. Otherwise, what's the point? And I think the airfield's over there. Now what we'll do is we're going to try and slow down a lot earlier. So nose up, ease up on that, whatever that is that changes the pitch of the rotors. Don't forget to keep an eye on the horizon HSI. No, that's the horizontal situation indicator. What is that? Too much thinking, no, too much talky, not enough thinky. What's the thing? Is AV8 navigate, communicate? I think that's the way it works. So talky is last, and I haven't slowed down enough. Actually, what we'll do, we'll see if we can... I've eased up a little bit on the rotor pitch, but I reckon this is a good opportunity just to show how quickly you can hit that vortex ring state and not notice. So we're pretty high at the moment. We're high, but we're also kind of low, so a vortex ring state could, you know, smash our backs. But what we'll do, we're just going to slow right down, and I'm going to ease up a little bit on the rotor pitch, so that we'll drop back through our own wash, and you might not even notice it. We still got too much forward movement. It is that quick. Nah, didn't quite hit it. So I've pitched, I've changed the pitch on the rotors, but yeah, we didn't quite hit it. See if we can do it going this way then. Just get a bit of forward momentum, which I'll convert into altitude in a minute. While I pitch down on change the rotor. There it is. Really quick, just a drop, but because we still have enough forward momentum, we can slide out of that vortex ring state. But if we didn't have enough forward momentum, we would have been gone as for sure. So I'm just going to try and we might hit it here as well. 76543 didn't hit the ground. Absolute madman. Totally intentional. Just like my Harrier video where I landed what looked to be somewhere where you should have landed in the Harrier all those years ago. Perfect Lieutenant Rabbit style. Make it look like I'm supposed to do something when clearly it was purely by accident. Alright. Not bad, not bad. See, this is what 3 hours of doing this non-stop will do for you. Look at that. I reckon I could probably just stop and hover here. Oh, well, it's a lot easier than it was before. I mean, it's not perfect, so... But compared to what it was 3 hours ago, I'm impressed. So I'm just going to ease up on the rudder to get the correct... change the yaw, but use the torque. And I'm just going to drop. I want to... dang it, I was so close. Alright, so altitude is also a thing you need to be aware of. That 0 is not actually, you know, you're on the ground. I think it's like less than 1 foot or something like that. But, you know, that's pretty close. At least this time I'm kind of within the thing. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. Alright. Time to upload this one. Alright, so practice with the helicopter. Remember to use trim. Correcting that previous video I put up so I don't get complaints. Thanks for watching.